जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानंदन जय ब्रज जनरंजन जय यशोदानंदन जय ब्रज जनरंजन जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki Srimad Bhagavatam ki. So thank you all very much. Thank you. Hare Krishna. As always, I'm very grateful to each and every one of you for rising early and coming for the morning program. So my grateful thanks to each one of you. This is a sacrifice, and I'm very happy to see all of you making this sacrifice and coming for the morning program. Actually, the morning program really is the foundation. How we begin the day, generally that's the way we carry on throughout the day. So what consciousness we have in the beginning is what we are going to carry on for the rest of the day. So it's so important to be in the spiritual energy, at least at the start of the day. Do you agree? Thank you. Okay. So we are continuing our reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on chapter 16 of the 8th canto. And we are on verse number 6. No, 5. Yeah, 5. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashta Praeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So part of the morning program is to hear the philosophy, to read and understand, and then apply the lessons of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Who has written Srimad Bhagavatam? Vyasadeva. Okay, good. I'm going to ask questions to make sure you're awake. To wake you up if you're asleep. Okay. So, we are, as we said, continuing our reading. We are on verse number 5, which is on the board. So, please repeat after me. Api va kushalam kinchid Griheshu grahamedhini Dharmasyarthasya kamasya Yatra yogo hi ayoginam Api va kushalam kinchid Griheshu grihamedhini Dharmasyarthasya kamasya Yatra yogo hi ayoginam Api va kushalam kinchid Griheshu grihamedhini. Dharmasyarthasya kamasya. Yatra yogo hi ayoginam. Please repeat. Apiva kushalam kinchit. Griheshu grihamedhini. Vaishnavis? Anyone else? Yanava? Apiva kushalam kinchit. Deshu grihamedhini. Dharmasya tasya kamasya. Yatra yogo hiyayoginam. Kalindi? Apiva kushalam kinchit. Griheshu grihamedhini. Tasya kamasya. Dharmasya tasya kamasya. Hiyayoginam. Hiyayoginam. Thank you. Vada lepa. Very nice. Thank you very much for your patience with this. Purport. By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, before that the translation, which is as follows. O my wife, who are very much attached to household life, if the principles of religion, economic development, and satisfaction of the senses are properly followed in household life, one's activities are as good as those of a transcendentalist. I wonder whether there have been any discrepancies in following these principles. Purport. In this verse, Aditi has been addressed by her husband Kashyap Muni as Griha Medhini, which means one who is satisfied in household life for sense gratification. Generally, those who are in household life pursue sense gratification in the field of activities performed for material results. Such grihamedhis have only one aim in life, sense gratification. Therefore, it is said, Yan maithunadi grihamedhi sukham hi tucham. The householder's life is based on sense gratification, and therefore the happiness derived from it is very meager. Nonetheless, the Vedic process is so comprehensive that even in householder life, one can adjust his activities according to the regulative principles of dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. One's aim should be to achieve liberation. But because one cannot at once give up sense gratification, in the Shastras there are injunctions prescribing how to follow the principles of religion, economic development, and sense gratification, as explained in Srimad Bhagavatam 1:2-9. Dharmasya hi apavargasya nartho narthayo pakalpate. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Those who are in household life should not think that religion is meant to improve the process of the householder's sense gratification. Household life is also meant for advancement in spiritual understanding, by which one can ultimately gain liberation from the material clutches. One should remain in household life with the aim of understanding the ultimate goal of life, tattva jignasa. Then household life is as good as the life of a yogi. I'll read that again. Then household life is as good as the life of a yogi. Hare Krishna. Kashyap Muni therefore inquired from his wife whether the principles of religion, economic development, and sense gratification were being properly followed in terms of the Shastric injunctions. As soon as one deviates from the injunctions of the Shastra, the purpose of household life is immediately lost in confusion. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So such a beautiful verse and such a beautiful purport in which Srila Prabhupada is explaining that Grihast Ashram is where the Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipped. That means the home is a temple and all the family members are engaged in samsiddhir haritoshanam, in pleasing the Supreme Lord. So don't ever think Grihast Ashram is a fall down. Griha Medhis, yes, they are only getting into the dark well of further and further material entanglement. But Grihast Ashram, the meaning of ashram means it's a legitimate, bona fide ashram for worshipping the Lord and attaining the ultimate aim of human form of life. So all the ashrams are important. Our society, ISKCON, the majority happens to be Grihast Ashram. Most of us, because of our desires, we are going to end up in Grihast Ashram. So we better learn how to do it right. Not everyone can be renounced right from the very beginning. But the Vedic process is so nice that even in household life, we can follow the injunctions of the Shastras very nicely and make advancement. Every member of the family, whether it's a child, whether it's the wife, whether it's the husband, whether it's a grandmother, grandfather, uncle, auntie, cousins, second cousins, third cousins, grandchildren, everyone can be involved in some small way in the process of worshipping the Lord, making the home into a temple. In fact, Srila Prabhupada was very proud of his householder disciples. Did you know that? He said, he sent young couples all over the world. Go to Hawaii, go to Japan, go here, go there, open a temple. And this young couple would go, empowered by Srila Prabhupada, and would open a temple in a new place. That's the power of the Jagat Guru. And Srila Prabhupada said, my Guru Maharaj made an army of sannyasis. And I am making an army of grihasthas to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. We all know, it's legendary now, by now, that 3 young couples, 3 really young couples, were sent by Srila Prabhupada to UK, to England. Malati and Shamsundar Prabhu with their little daughter Saraswati, Janaki and Mukunda Maharaj, now Maharaj, and who was the third couple? Does anyone remember? I forget, one more couple. Malati, Yamuna and Gurudas. Thank you very much. Yamuna and Gurudas, they were very young. No money, by the way. Do you know how they entered into the UK? They had to show a certain amount of money. So one young couple went in the UK with that 150 pounds or something that they had to show. When they reached UK, they wired the money to Belgium or some neighboring country where the rest of them were. The second couple came into the country showing that 150 pounds. Then they wired the money again to the third couple, and the third couple came in. That is how they entered the United Kingdom, England. And they were impoverished. They lived in, storage areas because they couldn't afford rent. And they had little cardboard, for cover in the cold of the winter. So it is very grueling, very harsh conditions. But they were enthusiastic to spread Krishna consciousness. And they met the Beatles, George Harrison. That's also very interesting. If you like to read about it, Guru Das has written a book about this whole adventure, as he called it. And even Shyam Sundar lately has written Chasing Rhinos with the Swami. So, Srila Prabhupada empowered his young disciples, whether they were grihasthas or brahmacharis or brahmacharinis, to go ahead and spread Krishna consciousness. So don't ever think that, I have so many desires, so now I'm going to get married and I'm going to be falling down. No! If you have got good training as a brahmachari or brahmacharini, you're going to carry forward in your grihastha life the principles that you have learned in your Krishna consciousness, and you're going to make your home into an ashram and follow nicely. So what is this process of grihastha ashram Krishna consciousness? It means that we begin the day with Krishna. You do the morning program at home in your own way. You may not be able to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So what? Wake up at 6 o'clock or whatever is the right time for you. But do a morning program at home. Engage all the members of the family in worshipping the Lord. And begin the day with good consciousness even in your home. Offer all your activities as a service to the Lord to please the Lord. The wife or the mother takes care of all the family members nicely. The husband and the father goes and provides for the family by engaging himself and his skills and talents in being a good provider and protector, and sets the example by which his wife and children can feel encouraged in their devotional life. This is Krishna consciousness. And Srila Prabhupada says, in the evening, everybody can come together at the end of the day. And what are they supposed to do? Hare Krišna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, hare-rama, hare-rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And Srila Prabhupada says, such a family, they will have peace, they will have happiness, they will have all prosperity. Krishna will protect everyone because they are trying to serve him nicely. And most importantly, they will make progress. Now the principle for Grihastha Ashram is charity. Not that you hoard all your money for yourself. You're supposed to give in charity. Whatever the ideal is, 50% of the income must be devoted for Krishna conscious activities. Now, how everyone does that is up to them, and how much they do is up to them. We are not going to sit here and tell you how to manage your grihastha life. Only you know what are your commitments and how you can do it. But the principle is something should be engaged. Some process of your income should go to the temple or to some favorite project of yours, maybe in Mayapur or Vrindavan or somewhere, or your local temple, whatever it is. You must be able to give something every time you get your paycheck. Some portion of it is first going to Krishna. That should be the principle, because the principle of grihastha life is charity. One should be happy and eager to invite advanced devotees to come to the home and hold home programs, and then distribute prasadam to all the local people, neighbors, friends, everybody, so that they get the benefit of Krishna consciousness. They get to hear from advanced souls the philosophy. Remember, our devotional life begins with what? Shravanam, hearing. So people who may never come to the temple, but they can come to your home because they are your neighbors. You can invite them and say, some very advanced person is coming to my home to give a lecture, please come. And so you are now spreading Krishna consciousness from your home and engaging other people in the process of worshipping the Lord. Just imagine your neighbors, when they are favorable, when they're friendly, say, come on over, help me to cook something for Krishna today. We're having a home program. Help me to wash the dishes. Help me to pass out the plates of prasadam. Help me to lay out the mats. Some little something when they begin their engagement in the process of Krishna consciousness, that's a start. You're giving them a step to come forward closer and closer to Krishna. So Grihastha ashram is as legitimate as other ashrams. Never ever demean, denigrate, degrade or talk in disparaging terms, because the stomach feeds the rest of the body, right? So Grihastha ashram is the only ashram where people are earning money and then they support the other ashrams. Brahmacharis, sannyasis, vanaprasthas are supported by Grihastha ashram. Can you, make fun of your stomach because it's eating all the food? Because the stomach supplies food to nourishment to the rest of the body, right? So Grihasthas are supposed to support all the other ashrams. How will we have a healthy ISKCON society if one of the parts of ISKCON is supposed to be, useless or something like that? Every part of the body is valuable. So one can make progress nicely in Grihastha ashram. This is a very important thing to understand, because unfortunately, in the very early days of ISKCON, there was such a strong pressure to be renounced, to give up sense gratification, to do this, to do that, to do that. And people who then went on to Grihastha ashram were made to feel lesser than, you couldn't make it in life. You couldn't make it in Krishna consciousness, so you had to go and get married because you're full of sense desires and this and that and so on and so forth. But no, the Vedic process is so wonderful that everyone has a chance, every one of us, to make advancement. Besides which, Srila Prabhupada wanted that all the women should be married. If everyone says, I'm not going to marry, then how will the women be protected? And how will we get the next generation of ISKCON devotees? Because our children are going to take the movement forward. So you see, Srila Prabhupada gave us this process of purifying ourselves no matter which ashram we are in. And this is coming from Lord Chaitanya's times. Remember the story of Kurma Brahmin? Do you know that story? Would you like to hear? Okay. Lord Chaitanya was touring South India. And then at Kurma Kshetra, he was staying in the home of this Brahmin. And the Brahmin and his family were so happy to serve Lord Chaitanya. all his needs. They were taking care of it so nicely. They were taking care of the Lord so nicely. They completely were absorbed in love for Lord Chaitanya by taking care of him and everything that he needed. Then, being a sannyasi, time to go, right? Sannyasis are not going to stick around forever. They come, they give their mercy, go on to the next place. That's one of the principles of sannyas ashram, that you travel and preach and don't stay in any place for more than 3 days. So, Lord Chaitanya is getting ready to go. The Kurma Brahmin is broken-hearted. How can I let my Lord go? I am so much devoted to his service. I'm so happy to serve his lotus feet. So he decides, I am following Lord Chaitanya. I'm giving up everything. I'm going to go running behind Lord Chaitanya. So he's all set to give up his household life and go behind Lord Chaitanya, because he's just completely sold out now. He just wants to love and serve Lord Chaitanya. Now Lord Chaitanya was very beautiful. He was very attractive. In fact, his weapon in this age is his beauty. So he was very attractive. And then his demeanor, his sweetness, his charm, his love for all living entities was just capturing Kurma Brahmin. He was just enraptured. And he told Lord Chaitanya, I'm giving up everything and coming. And what does Lord Chaitanya say? Don't be foolish. You have your home, your household, your children, your wife, your dependents. You have to take care of them. He said, you do this one thing. You take my holy name. You worship me. You always think of me. I will always be with you. In fact, you will never lose my company. So, every one of us can be situated in whatever ashram Krishna has put us in, and we can pursue Krishna conscious life very nicely. There is no bar for anyone in Krishna consciousness. Whether one is a cobbler, or a fisherman, or a painter, or a plumber, or a janitor, or a sweeper, or a garbage person, or a postman, or any person, any one of us, we are entitled to worship and love Krishna because we are spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. So, no one can be denied the process of engaging nicely in Krishna consciousness by engaging in what? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. What is this? What am I saying? Shravanam is hearing. Kirtanam, chanting. Right? Smaranam, remembering Lord Krishna. Padasevanam, worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord. Archanam, deity worship. Vandanam, singing his glories. Right? Dasyam, becoming a humble servitor of Krishna. Sakhyam, friendship. And Atmanivedanam, surrendering everything. The last two are at a very elevated level. Raganuga Bhakti, spontaneous loving devotion. The first 7 is Vaidhi Bhakti. That means following the rules and regulations very properly, very carefully, very obediently, very nicely, so that we are making progress little by little by little. We have to assess, how am I doing in Krishna consciousness? How am I making progress in Krishna consciousness? Am I proceeding towards the goal of human life? So what are the processes? 8 stages, right? Sadhu Sangha, Adav Shraddha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema. Prema Pumartha Mahan, the ultimate goal, pure love of Krishna. So where are we in that process? I have come into the association of devotees. I'm getting some faith. I'm listening to lectures. Next thing, I want to take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master and give my life to his service, surrender to the bona fide spiritual master. This is very important, because unless we get the mercy of the pure devotee and the instructions of the pure devotee, how can we be trained up, as Srila Prabhupada said? So we must get shelter, initiation. After initiation, we very carefully follow the instructions of the Guru, so that anartha nivritti, all the impurities, all the contamination, all the bad habits, all the character flaws, all the idiosyncrasies that we have will be taken away. If we follow the process nicely, we will become fixed, nishtha. Anartha nivritti is it's a vast Siberian desert. We have a lot of impurities, and they come rushing up to the surface as we begin the process of bhakti, like ghee. As you start heating up the butter, all the impurities come up, right? So we have to take away the impurities, and then we get nice golden ghee, clear and beautiful, to cook nice things to offer to Krishna. So anartha nivritti. And then nishtha, ruchi, asakti, bhava, prema. So these are all very elevated stages. Let us begin, small. Let us at least follow the process and clear ourselves, and then become at least steady in Krishna consciousness. Then we can think of the higher stages. Right now we are like wobbling, like kids, up and down, stumbling and falling all the time. So we need to become steady in our Krishna consciousness. Then we will be able to go on more. Right? So, let's see. Yes. So those who are in household life should not think that religion is meant to improve the process of the householder's sense gratification. This life is meant for advancement in spiritual understanding. Therefore, in Grihastha life, one thing is very, very, very important. Deity worship. Deity worship. Because householders are dealing so much with the material energy, Srila Prabhupada said, if they do not engage in deity worship, their falling down is positively assured. This is how important it is to have regular, daily deity worship. If not, say you have no time, then at least come to the temple once a day and engage in the process of watching the kirtan, offering your obeisances, offering something for the deity worship. Ideally, in your home, every day, you should have an altar where you have deities and you perform some regular worship of the deities. If devotees can step up a little bit, and grihasthas especially, can come to the temple and offer their service to the deities at least once a month, at least once in 2 months, at least once in 3 months. Especially those who are initiated brahmanas, if they can come and engage in the deity worship, so much benefit is there. I'm very appreciative of devotees who live far away, but they make that sacrifice to come to the temple and engage in deity worship. We have Mother Shravana. Of course, she lives near, but she comes and she does one arti, I think. Tara Lakshmi Mataji comes. And I noticed one nice grihastha also, Param Gati Gaura Prabhu. Param Gati is his name? Yeah. So that Prabhu is coming and steadily worshipping the deities. And everyone is benefited in the home when you engage in deity worship. So we encourage grihasthas to become more involved also in the temple and offer deity worship to the deities at least once in 6 months. If not, if you cannot come once a month, once in 6 months, offer one worship, one arti, and make that a regular feature, because that's your connection to Panchatattva. Of course, every home where there's a temple, where there's an altar, is an extension of this main temple that's there. But it's nice to come to the main temple and offer worship like that once in a while, make that a steady feature of your service to Panchatattva, like that. So, we have a very clear-cut process. There is no need for any confusion. Anybody in any ashram can make nice progress. All we have to do is follow the process of Krishna consciousness, which means what? chant your 16 rounds if you are initiated, and follow the regulative principles, engage in service. And Lord Chaitanya gave this process. Jeev Doya, Namaruchi, Vaishnav Seva. Right? Serve the Vaishnavas, develop a taste for the holy name, and offer mercy to all living entities by giving this process of Krishna consciousnness to others. So householders who make their home into a temple, into an ashram, are glorious, because they are like the outposts. They are like the satellite centers where Krishna consciousness is being propagated. And you get so much mercy by following the process nicely and giving Krishna consciousness to others, because Lord Chaitanya becomes very pleased. Right? Yare dekha tare kaha, Krishna upadesh. Whoever you meet, tell them about Krishna. So householders actually are in a very unique position to do that, because they are interfacing with so many sections of society. You go grocery shopping, you meet people there. You go to your workplace, you go to the playground, you go to the garden with your kids. The children are playing, the other children are playing. You're saying hello, hi to some, other parent. And that's how you take the opportunity to somehow or the other give the unfortunate souls Krishna. Somehow or the other, we must try to spread this Krishna consciousness movement. And householders are in a very unique position to do that. Traveling, working, shopping, going for recreation, all these are opportunities to interact with others and somehow or the other give them Krishna. Give them prasadam, give them the book, give them a little flyer about the temple, and invite them to come for the Sunday feast. That's why Srila Prabhupada called it Sunday Love Feast. We share our love with everyone, right? And invite the souls to come to Krishna consciousness and engage. And this is so joyful. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Anyone who takes part in kirtan knows for sure this is joyful. There's no doubt about it. We're singing, we're dancing, we're feeling such connection with Krishna, because this is Prem Dhan. It's a gift of love coming directly from Vrindavan in the spiritual world. Guru Maharaj just said the other day, it's not even from Vaikuntha, it's from Golok Vrindavan. Golokera Prema Dhan, Harinam Sankirtan. So love, pure love, Krishna's love, Radha's love is coming to us in the form of this Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. How fortunate we are. How fortunate we have become by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So shouldn't we help others become fortunate? Srila Prabhupada said, go now and make the unfortunate fortunate by giving them Krishna consciousness. So, household life is meant for this purpose, and those of us who take it seriously, we will make advancement. There is no doubt about it. In fact, I shall tell you a little story. You want to hear a story? You'd like to hear a story? Mother Krishna Nandini, who started the Grihastha Vision team, she was a very young mother. She was in a black body in America. She had been divorced. She had small children. And she was just one day praying to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada told her, actually, Prabhupada came to her in a dream and told her, you teach people how to have a Krishna conscious family life. And she says, but Prabhupada, I don't even have a husband. And she didn't know what that dream was about. And she was meditating on it for a year. A year went by. She asked her god sisters, what am I supposed to do with this instruction? I don't have a husband. I'm divorced. I have small children. How am I supposed to? And then one fine day, she just fell at Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet, full dandavats, and she said, okay, Srila Prabhupada, I surrender. I don't know how this is going to happen, but I surrender to your instructions. And she says, then the husband came and inspiration came, facilities came, and she started this Grihastha Vision team because she realized that by her example, she has to teach people how to have a Krishna conscious family life. And guess what? Her husband was Muslim. She was given very challenging situation to prove that Krishna consciousness works in every situation. And they went on to have a very successful Krishna conscious marriage. He's actually very Krishna conscious, Tariq Prabhu, with great respect for each other's spiritual beliefs and faith process. And they went on to start this Grihastha Vision team. They went on to write books to help other couples. They counseled and helped hundreds of couples in Krishna consciousness. She went on to do interfaith preaching. She wrote many other books also, and she became a real spiritual force that touched many people's lives, not just Hare Krishnas. She interacted with Christians, Jews, Muslims, Baha'is, Buddhists, so many people, and she was known as a very loving mother, very caring person, which is Krishna consciousness. So, thank you so much. So, Krishna consciousness is open to everyone, and anyone who takes the instructions of Srila Prabhupada seriously will be empowered by Srila Prabhupada to spread Krishna consciousness. So don't think, oh, I'm in a woman's body, I'm poor, I'm black, I'm uneducated, I have no money, I have no position, I have no this, I have no... Don't think of your weakness. Focus on Krishna's greatness. Focus on the greatness of the pure devotee by whose mercy a lame man can climb mountains. A blind man can see stars. And a dumb man can sing eloquent poetry. So we should worry less about ourselves and think more about how we can serve. And then little by little, like little kids learning to walk, we will start running one day. Yes? So anyone who takes the process of Krishna consciousness seriously will become empowered and will be able to do very nice service for this great mission of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So we will open up for comments, questions, realizations. Yes, please take the microphone so that the internet audience can hear you.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much for your lecture. I was wondering how come Kashyapa Muni addressed Aditi as Grihamedi and not Grihastha?
Interesting. Well, I don't really know the answer to that. I just was given the opportunity to give this class literally 5 minutes before I began. So I must humbly request your pardon. I didn't have much time to prepare. I will research into this and maybe I will be able to give you an answer, because otherwise it will be just speculation. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Sabina, you can translate if she wants to speak in Slovenian, that's fine. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Actually, you all are inspiring me. I'm so happy to see all of you, young, bright, intelligent people coming to Krishna consciousness. I wish I had come to Krishna consciousness when I was young like you all. You know, I'm a Johnny come lately, so I'm still scrambling to catch up with you all. Thank you for inspiring me. Anyone else? Anything else? Janava? Yes, please. Can you speak into the microphone? Yeah. I don't think it's on. You should see a green light.
It's on now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's better.
So yesterday we were talking about Grihastha ashram and worshipping of the deities and everything, the standards and things like that. So, like, how is it in the when you have a family and you have small children and you have deities, and how do you handle everything, and how do you maintain your standards? May become difficult. What can you say about that?
Very nice question. Very nice question. His Grace Pankajangri Prabhu said that when you're in the temple, you follow the deity's schedule. When you're in the home, the deity follows your schedule. So you can be flexible. You can choose the time of worship. You can choose, because small children, they need to sleep. You know, you can't wake them up early or something like that. And when they're very small, you do the deity worship. They will just hear or watch. Like Srila Prabhupada remembers waking up, hearing his father ting, 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 you know, doing the worship. As the children grow up, then they get very happy and attracted and excited to do what daddy and mommy is doing. I'll ring the bell, I'll put the plate, I'll do this. So they become enthusiastic by watching you. But initially, you're the one who's going to have to do it. But you have to keep it very simple, practical, doable. For example, you can't spend 4 hours doing the whole Mangalarti program like we do here. The whole morning program is from 4:30 to 9 o'clock. That's not possible in Grihastha life because you have to do so many other things. So short, crisp, simple morning program. Main thing is the chanting. Your children should see you chanting, keeping your vows. You see? So chanting 16 rounds is the topmost thing. So you may just offer a little water. You may just be able to do, one incense, one flower. Whatever you can do simple, easily, and daily. Don't make such an elaborate thing that you cannot do it on a daily basis. Maybe on Sunday, you can have a more elaborate worship because everyone is home and it's nice to offer a nice Gaura Arti or Rajbhoga Arti. That's up to you. But keep it very simple, keep it doable, practical, and something that you can be consistent. Not one day you do, the next day you don't. It has to be consistent. Because then your kids also learn how to do worship, and that consistency is important. Regularity is important. That my dad and mom do this every day. Because this is part of their life. This is our lifestyle, that we worship the Lord every day. Like we take a shower, we brush our teeth, we eat food. Same way, this is just done because it's the right thing to do. So children will learn by watching our example. And in the beginning, we have to do everything. The kids can only watch. And slowly, slowly, as they get enthused, then we try to engage them. Nothing should be forced. Children get very rebellious if they're forced. In teenage years, they will rebel. And they will say, I'm not doing this. You forced me to do it. So it must come naturally. Kids like to do things that way. So when they see parents doing, they also would like to do. And then little responsibilities can be given to the kids as they grow up a little bit more. Okay, today you can wash Krishna's cups and plates and spoons. Today you can make the arti tray. Today you can offer incense and flowers. As they grow up, little more responsibility can be given according to their age. So parents have to slowly do things in such a way that, and make it fun, Krishna consciousness is fun. Talk about Aghasur and how Krishna saved all the cowherd boys, and Krishna conscious stories, Krishna conscious pastimes. And songs, the little Vaishnav songs are there for the little Vaishnavs. So like this, so many puzzles and, the Krishna, what is that, Little Krishna DVDs are there now. They have made movies about little Krishna. So make it fun for them and make it interesting. And children love to hear stories. So at bedtime, you can tell them a little story about Krishna and put them to sleep. They will remember Krishna. More importantly, you're setting a good example. And what they learn, they will teach to their children. So what you're doing is impacting not this generation, but the next generation and the next generation. So don't worry, Krishna will help. You do your best, Krishna will do the rest. Is that okay? You're welcome to look up our website. Grihastha Vision team has a website called VaishnavFamilyResources.org, and there's a lot of interesting articles and discussions over there that may be useful for your Grihastha life. Is that okay? Thank you. Nice question. Anything else, or we can end the class now? Is that all right? Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
That's always like this. This is history of this temple. 5 minutes is quite a lot before.